Hey, welcome to this demo. I'm going to show you the harvesting capabilities. Do note that for recording purposes I have sped up the build, harvesting and deposit speeds. In the end result, these speeds will obviously be slower and more balanced. So let's begin. So I start off with building a refinery. And once I place it, you will see a harvester being spawned, as expected. Now let me move that harvester a bit more down so you can see its capacity meter, which is also new, the blue one. And once the harvester is full, it will return to the refinery. And it will deposit its spice and so generate money, as you would expect. Do note it has all the animations, the harvesting animation, the refinery has the animation. So let's add another refinery to get more money. And for testing purposes, I have made the harvester very cheap in the heavy factory. So I'm going to build a few more harvesters. And you will see them immediately move around and try to harvest things. You will also see this back and forth moving by the harvester. I'm just sending them away now. And this is also new. Previously, the units would simply stop when they could not reach a tile. So I changed it so they would try to go around it, but even if that were the case and they could still not reach the intended tile, then they would go back and forth. It's not perfect. It's a lot better than we had. The best way would be, of course, to introduce pathfinding, but I didn't want to go that far for the harvesting feature. So I'm helping out the harvesters here, get around the refinery. So when a harvester is heading into a refinery, it will search for a free refinery, and it will allocate it, in fact, and then go to it. If there are no free refineries, the harvester will just go to the nearby refinery and then simply wait. And that's why you see some harvesters flocking around some refineries, going back and forth. They're waiting to go in the refinery once it's available. Well, that's it. Let's blow stuff up. Okay, so this is behind the scenes. And we're at the rules.ini file. And here you can see all the stuff I've configured. And this is the refinery. The refinery has two new properties, and one is which unit will respond, which is in this case the harvester. And if we go to the harvester, then you will see it also has a bunch of properties. It has a property that is a harvester, which has certain behavior, and it has some capacities and speeds to harvest or deposit and so forth. And what I would like to do is change a few things. I'm going to change the harvest speed, which is 30, which means 30 seconds. I'm changing it to 10 seconds, so that means in 10 seconds it will now be fully harvested. So let's check it out. And you will see the harvesting will be much faster. Capacity meter is already almost full. But let's do something more interesting. So let's go to a quad, totally different unit, and simply let's turn it into a harvester. And that's basically just setting the property harvester is true. I'm going to copy over these properties because to prevent typos. But let's say a quad doesn't have as much capacity, so change that to a lower number. and it's done in 2 seconds, and depositing is done in 3 seconds. And the refinery will now spawn a quad. That would be appropriate. And now if I run the game, and I click on the construction yard and I build a refinery, it will spawn a quad. And it will harvest fairly quickly. And you will see the harvester in the refinery because that's a different animation, so that makes sense. It looks weird, but the main mechanics still work, and that's pretty nice. So let's take it a few steps further. Change this back into a harvester again. Let's change the wind trap. Wind trap is also a refinery now, and that one will spawn a quad. So now we have both. We have a harvester going from the refinery and a quad from the wind trap. So let's build a wind trap, and it spawns a quad. And oh, here we see the wind trap actually disappearing sometimes. That has something to do with the animation that a refinery would have, and the wind trap doesn't have it. And the code is obviously not prepared to deal with that entirely properly. It doesn't crash. You see the error messages down below. But you do see it works, and the quad will actually go into the refinery and the harvester will go into the wind trap, so there's no distinction made. So, what's next? Only thing that is left is basically to not set the refinery property and show you that we can spawn like anything we like. In this case, we spawn it right next to a wind trap. There you go. We built a refinery, and that spawns a harvester, and now the wind trap is no longer a refinery. And that basically means, so this gives the freedom to set certain kind of behavior for structures. And that's basically it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about the game or the technical side of things, just let me know. Leave a comment. If you want to look into the source code, you can, because it's on GitHub. See the description. And it would be awesome if you would follow me on Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. It would be nice to hear from you, hear any feedback, and stay tuned because there are more videos coming up. About the videos, please let me know if the audio quality is good enough for you, and if not, how it could be better. Well, I'd like to hear from you again. So see you next time.